without any more interruptions by me to myself, let's dive into play some DD. So, what would you guys like to do? You got it was 8 o'clock when you met with the Rook. It was somewhere around closer to 8:30, 9 o'clock when you met. It was closer to 10 when you got back to the Two-Tailed Inn, and you're basically standing out in front around 10:30 at night. What would you guys like to do?
When are we just supposed to meet Sherman to...
The next tomorrow, if you are interested in the job, meet him at the same location, and he would give you the stuff you needed.
All right. Wow, that could have gotten a lot worse.
Yeah, I would say so. So, I'm no longer a wanted man or wanted bugbear, whatever you want to call me. We should go party.
Heard.
Have a celebration.
Aren't we doing a job in the morning?
When has that ever stopped you?
A lot, actually.
I mean, I'm up for it, but...
Okay, go up for a round of drinks.
Caden?
Caden, how are you feeling?
Whatever you think is best works. I'm a little off. It's fine. Whatever you think is best, I'll join. Whatever.
Okay. Is there like a place that we can go to and like play like beer pong or something?
Well, you haven't been in college for quite some time, but Clara probably knows a college bar.
Do I?
You know of them, not necessarily
Okay.
visited them. You know where they're at.
Okay.
So
Sure.
where do you take them?
I mean, if anyone has any other ideas of what to do tonight, just please speak up. But I think this is the best thing that we could possibly do tonight.
Beer pong?
Yeah. Interacting, mingling, getting to know each other better. It's a social thing.
I'm not sure beer pong counts for that.
There's some teamwork involved. Or we just get really drunk. It's fine. Like,
yeah, that one.
We can just do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That seems easier. It's a lot less work.
Oh, you could just get really drunk, boring, or you could get really drunk while throwing a little ping pong ball into a cup.
So ping pong is a thing here?
Fantasy
It
ping
is
pong.
now.
Okay.
Okay, I guess I'll take him
Or
to
we
a
could go
bar.
back to my flat and have snacks while we get drunk.
What?
Free snacks.
Snacks.
Oh. What did you hear?
Not. To be
These are
fair,
my
I've
sisters.
heard
Jesus
sax
Christ.
as like the saxophone instrument and was
didn't.
really confused.
Nope. The family's on a one-track
No,
mind.
we're on a different train.
Wow.
Oh boy.
Caden laughed so hard
Y'all
he just
are recorded
snapped
and
out of
you're like,
existence.
everything must be related to sex now.
That's
I mean, you're
No,
like the
I don't
person.
think that would have mattered. I don't think that would have mattered.
Are you sure? I think it does. I think that is how it's been colored now.
Anyway,
yeah, I guess I'm a little peckish. Can have some snacks.
Let's do that.
I'm sorry.
Food and
so
booze.
you head back to Magda's. You get a ride back. Somebody can fork out 3 silver for the ride back. And you arrive back at Magda's. She leads you upstairs, enters in. The wall is still torn to shreds. You know, there's a lot of empty wine and liquor bottles out. There's a couple sugar flies floating around. Something spoiled on the counter that has been left out for 2 days now. A mixed fruity drink or something. Yeah, the place is a mess. You guys left it trashed. So you have arrived.
Okay.
You still have some dried food and stuff like that, and in the ice bin, the cold bin, there's some vegetables and stuff, but not a whole lot. You're running low. Those are the kind of things you have to refresh on a couple daily basis.
I don't have prestidigitation. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
But it's enough for snacks. And so you sit down and pour some. You're running low on liquor as well, but you still have enough for today. You'll have to refresh that at some point. But you're getting to the cheaper stuff now. You sit down and enjoy your company. What do you guys want to talk about?
To freedom. May we always be free. Yes.
Breaking out of jail and pulling it off somehow.
Yes. Is there anything else we want to drink to tonight?
Not being killed by the rook.
Not being killed by the rook. Olivia?
Not being fired yet.
Not fired yet. Caden? Is going through technical difficulties? Maybe?
Or is it more emotional?
Sorry, I think I heard Caden. I am having technical difficulties. I did not hear what your question was. Carry on without me at the moment.
Technical difficulties.
Not sure what you're even saying at this point. You slap back some drinks.
Wonderful.
Oh man. A little bit later, probably into the evening. I don't know. Clara.
Yes.
What have you been up to?
Like in general?
No, yeah.
Like are you asking me about my life?
Oh, you don't have to get into it. I just answered the question.
Oh, okay. Not much. That seems like a lie.
Seems like
yeah,
a lie.
I was
exactly
just trying to be polite.
Mm.
Lots of things. Found out my mentor's alive in a time vortex.
Yeah.
And
You keep calling him that. That doesn't seem like the correct terminology.
what's the correct terminology?
Well, I don't want to assume anything, but did find that I think it might have been your uniform.
Yeah, we're just gonna blow right past that. Yeah, whatever we are, it's fine. He's been gone for a year. I've been doing not that much in that year. Working with Arthur. You got to meet him for the first time ever.
Seems like a pretty great place.
Yeah, except for the whole. Okay, we're good. How are things with you?
Well, no, we don't need to. It's the same as it has been,
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, like, what's it like in like wizard school and shit? Like we talked about doing that once.
It's not what it was cracked up to be. It kind of sucked sometimes, like a lot. But I learned a lot. I did make some friends, not as many as I wanted, but there were some like real jackwads at that school.
I guess those are everywhere. But you'd think fancy magic and stuff, you'd be around some better people.
Yeah, you'd think that, and then it's just the same jackwads use magic to do jackwad shit.
Hmm.
So, and you have to be good at magic to really do anything, and I wasn't for a while. So,
You're always the most compared to the maybe better than the rest of the siblings.
yeah, though it's like the story, like, big fish in a small pond, it's just a fish in other ponds, unfortunately. Learned to drink, though. Got that on Wizard College.
Okay, great. Was that what was anyway? Good for you.
Magda, this has never happened before. Are you seeing this?
I am a fly on the wall.
Me too.
What if you fucking what heard? What you
Keep going, keep going. You're doing great.
great at what? Drinking? Give me another one.
Conversation. Yeah,
Give me
sure.
another
go.
one.
Yeah.
Right away. And Magda, I was told there would be snacks.
Yeah. Come, let's go fix some snacks in the kitchen.
Snacks.
I'll help
Yes, snacks.
I feel like they're setting us up.
I don't know why. I'll do
Yeah.
the perimeter of the room.
you.
Stands. Walk through.
So after some awkward conversation, and for the first time in a long time, just trying to have a conversation, you guys have a pleasant evening. Do you guys get drunk, or you just enjoy drinking?
The
The latter.
Okay, so you guys just there's no constitution checks for tonight. Is everyone crashing here, Magda, or are they going back to their? Okay.
I think I'm gonna go home. I kind of ran out of my dad.
You did. You got a message a little bit earlier that evening. Is everything okay? Are you alive? Is everything okay? Nope. It's just, is everything okay?
Yes. Okay. Home soon.
Okay.
Had to count.
Yep. Olivia, I had forgotten because I was tracking things. Today was payday, so you would have gotten paid. So you could add your monthly pay to your sheet, which I'm sure you have memorized. But in case you didn't,
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah.
21 gold.
Thank you. Yeah, sounds good. I knew that.
Of which 2/3 of it your
Yeah, I gotta go
landlord expects. And he would expect that tonight because he's an alcoholic and he spends it on his money.
Oh shit.
So Claire, you head back. You make your way through the night.
Through the night.
Yeah, well, it's quite late when you quite early in the morning when you head back. As you are, as you're heading back, it's you don't really encounter any trouble. Somebody does calls you a nice tasty snack.
I make Kafka peck him. Or swoop him.
Yeah, you swoop him. He runs away.
Good.
Homeless guy who's drunk on the side of the street. Shouldn't be talking like that. You get home safe without any issue. Herd, do you stay there or do you go to one of your other abode?
Olivia, I think we should spend the night.
I gotta go back home. I
Oh,
forgot.
nonsense. Why do you have to go back?
It's rent day today. I gotta get back to give the asshole his money.
He's really gonna care if you're one day late.
Absolutely, yes.
All right, go. I'll take the couch or something.
Yeah, it'll be fine. I'm gonna watch. Nobody bothers me on the road. Yeah, Olivia will head
okay.
back.
Okay. You arrive around 1 a.m. You climb up the stairs to the front house, and the door creaks as you open it. and you see
Trying to
sitting.
be as quiet as possible.
Give me a stealth roll.
Okay.
Disadvantage because your armor.
Yeah. What is that? A 12?
Man, advantage would have been fantastic.
Yeah, advantage would have been cool because that 24 could have been.
You climb up the steps and go to sneak in. He is sleeping on in his chair, with a bottle of booze next to him, and you're able to sneak by because he's asleep. You head up to your room upstairs.
I
and
leave the rent on the table on the way.
Okay.
Up.
All right. You make your way upstairs. Heard you crash on the couch or in one of her spare bedrooms, of which she has 3, I think.
Oh yeah,
I think
I mean, there's a spare bedroom. Yeah, I'll take the bedroom.
Yeah. So the evening passes. Everyone wakes up in the morning. Olivia, as you are coming downstairs, he is stomping around in the kitchen, and he hears you sort of make your way downstairs, and he yells over his shoulder, "Is that you?"
Who's fucking you?
What?
Who are you talking to? Oh, fuck.
Wait,
What?
the rent. It was late.
No. You were just asleep. I got back like super early.
Right. Hey, the Carmichaels haven't paid their rent. Can you swing by there and make them? The
Yeah.
Carmichaels are an Asimir family. They just had a baby and are staying in one of the houses at the end of the row.
They're literally angels. Like
Angels who just had a baby.
Yeah.
You're a piece of shit. Yeah, sure. If I don't go, who are you gonna send?
Oh, I'll just get one of the bruisers from down the pub to do it.
Yeah, all right, I'll go.
Okay.
Yeah, I can head down and do that now, or if somebody else has something to do.
So you head over there. Clara, when you arrived home, your dad was also sleeping in a chair, rocking chair. He had a blanket that he had tucked up around him, but it had fallen down. And do you attempt to sneak by him as well? I forgot to finish this scene last night. I moved to Olivia waking up. Okay. Do you wake him up?
How late is it?
It's about 1 a.m.
I think I'd wake him up so that he doesn't have to sleep in a chair. He's old.
Okay. It's like, oh, you're home. Oh, is everything all right? Did everything work out?
Surprisingly, it did. I honestly didn't expect it to. But yeah, Herd's fine.
It's all
Livia's
right.
fine.
Excellent. When you put your mind to something, you're able to come out on top without having to resort to violence.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get you upstairs, Dad.
So you and him go upstairs and he goes to bed. I'm glad you're home safe, Claire.
Yeah, I think we have a job in the morning. So
Okay. We'll talk about it tomorrow morning.
okay.
In the morning. Yeah.
Night.
Night. Yeah. Yeah, so everybody wakes up in the morning refreshed. You can reset your spell lists and things like that if you cast any. Magda, you wake up refreshed and ready to go. Nothing special between you and Kaden, as far as I can tell.
I want to do something.
Okay, what do you got?
How early does Herd wake up? First off.
How late does Herd wake up?
Should we roll for it?
Yes.
Roll me a Constitution, just a straight Constitution. Higher the number, the later you sleep. 15. Yeah, he sleeps in quite a bit. He wakes up around 10.
All right. Well, then before he wakes up, I will talk to Caden. Caden, how are you feeling? You seemed kind of out of it last night. I can't
No
hear
audio,
you.
Caden. That is, it's gonna be one of those.
Check 1, 2.
There
we go.
you go.
Oh,
There we
yeah,
go.
I can hear you
Okay.
now.
He was practicing his thieves' cant. You couldn't understand it.
Good morning. Sorry, what did you ask me?
Caden is doing well today.
Are you feeling okay? You seemed kind of out of it last night.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I am. I don't know what. It's like something about being around the rook brought back. I don't know. Old
Old
training.
habits?
Yeah, you got it. It's confused. It's like I spent so much time in training. There was a lot of wiring, I guess I would put it. Just a lot of like, follow your master's orders kind of thing. Something about being in that place with the rook kind of felt it was a little destabilizing. I'm just not used to not reporting to anyone, or I know I often switch it to I just follow. You're the smarter of the two of us. I follow what you think we should do. But something about being there in the rook's presence last night felt like all of that old kind of training coming back. It was a confusing
Yeah,
scenario. I'm okay.
that's good. I mean, I know it doesn't really, old habits die hard, but those people are never going to get their hands on you again. I'll make sure of it.
I know
Just
you will.
trust in me.
It's like the only thing I do trust in. Really.
All right.
Thank you. It took a while to get to sleep, but I'm good today.
All right. Oh, I suppose we should go wake up Herd.
Is he the only one who stayed? What?
Yeah.
He's had a rough go the last couple days, I suppose.
He could have a lie-in.
Olivia, you approach the my brain hates me.
Carmichael's.
The Carmichaels. Thank you, Clara.
Oh,
I literally had the name like seconds ago. You approach the Carmichaels place. How do you go about this?
Probably just walk right up to the door. Give it a knock. Excuse me.
They live in a little bit of a shack. They have a window at the front with shutters, no glass. It was broken out a long time ago. The door is a door, but has a nice gap underneath of it and a small split down the center that you could probably put your eye to and see. And as you knock on it, it shakes, indicating that one of the upper hinges is sort of pulling off of the door, and it isn't fully connected. As you knock on the door, you hear a baby crying from inside, and the door opens, and a man is standing there. He is elegant to look at. He carries himself with a proud demeanor, though he is dressed in, for lack of a better term, rags. His jeans, his pants have long since needed to be. You can tell they've been mended 6 or 7 times. His shirt has patches and mending. It's warm and comfortable, but it's like, it's not new clothes at all. He sees you standing there and he goes, "Oh, Olivia, yes, rent. We were gonna pay for the rent, but the baby got sick and we had to go to the doctor. I'm trying to get a job, but nobody's hiring at the moment. Turns out that if you're a stonecutter, with all the prisoners now, it's a little bit harder to get some work. But right, you don't care about that. Could you just give us like a couple days to scrape the rent together?
Hmm. How much? I know how much they owe. How much do they owe?
The rent is 5 gold a month.
Okay. You're a stone cutter?
Yes, I've done wood cutting and I've done stone cutting, but it's hard to get back into. After I broke my leg and lost my job.
Yeah.
And then
all right. You're not doing anything right now. You don't have a job?
no, I'm looking though.
Okay.
I'm
Well
looking.
then, yeah. Okay. Shush. You're going to fix up your house first. First, you're going to fix up your house. Then you're going to move on to the next one down the block and fix that one up, and then go on and on and on. And you continue to do that, and you're not going to pay me. You're not going to pay me rent. You're going to do that, and that's rent.
Okay. Do you have like supplies, or do I have to find them myself, or?
There's a place. There's a shed. It should stay pretty updated with supplies for fixing.
Thank you so much. I'll hop on that right away.
Yeah. All right. Start as soon as possible. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bless you. He goes back in the house.
I run by the house before I leave, and as stealthily as possible, place another 5 gold on the table.
Okay. You got the rent.
Yeah. Also, I hired somebody to deal with the fucked up housing situation.
How much you paying them?
I mean, it's fine. We're staying net high still. It's all good.
Well, don't be wasting money on fixing up houses that aren't falling over. People still pay to live there.
Well, hey, maybe they won't bother us as much if we just, keep them a little more updated.
That's what I have you for.
I'm busy these days, Terry.
Whatever. He scoops up the 5 gold and stomps out of the house. He's heading down to the liquor store.
Okay. I will spend the morning at the hardware store picking up some supplies and loading the shed up with new things. Enough stuff to fix at least. Enough stuff to keep him busy for at least a month.
Okay. So for everything that you'd need, you can mark off 10 more gold.
Okay.
Clara, you wake up to the smell of eggs being scrambled. And more eggs. Eggs are cheap and easy. And toast. No bacon. Just toast and eggs. And some, milk, goat milk or something. And as you're not rich.
I know. Just goat milk and eggs don't sound great.
Don't eat it. Drink water. As you sit down at the table to begin your morning ritual of eating breakfast with Arthur before you set about your day, he goes, "So, you have another job. Is this another dangerous endeavor?"
No, it shouldn't be.
Okay, cool, good. What is it exactly?
Oh,
more research?
Well, there's been some sort of like problem with some of the hunters. They're stuck with something. And so I'm going with Olivia and Herd and 2 of our new friends to go and see if we can solve that problem for them.
Oh, that's great. So you're like getting out of the city, so it should be safe. go out into the woods, spend some time in nature. That's fantastic.
Yeah, the city's just been so much lately, and just
Yeah, that's
really
good.
looking forward to spending time with Herd and Olivia.
Yeah, I saw her yesterday. She seemed really wound up, like really, uptight. But then things were happening. So
Yeah, to be fair, she's kind of always wound up, and she doesn't like. She was not really going to like you at first, no matter what. So,
That's
and it was her
okay.
first time over here. Yeah. So don't worry
That's
about it though.
fine.
She's I think
Hey, what did I
warming up.
tell you? Herb didn't do it, so he's able to get off. I told you, just trust the justice system.
Yes, clearly the justice system. Those wheels of justice keep turning.
He gives you an odd look as you say that. Like, was there more to it than that?
Some we had to do some talking to explain the situation.
Oh, well, that's to be understood.
Yeah.
Well, great. Well, let me pack you some supplies if you're going out. How long are you planning on being gone?
How long are we planning on being gone?
You guys have not talked about it.
No, we have not. Just probably a few days.
Okay. Yeah, I'll put some supplies together for you, and a bedroll and a tent, and some things for you for the woods.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, just a quick random research question. Came across this in the library last time I was there. You wouldn't happen to know anything about azurite powder, would you?
Ooh, azurite powder. That's yeah, it's used in I wouldn't have any use for it for what I do, because it's not very useful in objects. It's more used for stationary enchantments like teleportation circles, things like that, or just casting circles in general. It was used on the wall mostly. They discovered it when they were creating the wall and mined most of the mine. Like, we haven't hit a fresh node, so it's quite expensive. It's one of the reasons the war started 4,000 years ago over azurite powder and who controlled it. So there's still some out there, but it's quite costly. What was it in the context of? What did you like?
Oh, we're just working on a theoretical problem. Jacob and Lorcan and I, we're just playing around with some ideas, and it came up. I thought you'd know.
Yeah, it's a great for stabilizing magic. It can withstand a amount of magic power being put into it and hold it for a significant amount of time. The more you have, the more you can do that with. It's quite good at what it does. The teleporting cat.
Just whoosh.
Flying cat. I need to make a flying cat in the game. And every time it comes onto the screen, you're just gonna. Yeah. But yeah. Although if you guys are working on if you're gonna try to take theoretical and make it, practical, I wouldn't start with azurite powder. It's too expensive to waste. I would go with something cheaper, like silver or something like that, or just some regular old gems. If we don't have thousands of gold laying around to buy some azurite powder, depending on the quantity.
Yeah, it was just it just came up in one of the readings, and I just thought I'd ask you about it because we didn't know.
Okay, yeah, I can. If you are looking, I can see what the current market price is.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I have to go into town later and get some stuff. So,
are you gonna be
deeper
okay
into town,
if
go into
I'm
the market.
out for a few days, Dad?
I'll be fine. I mean, it's no different than you hanging out at college for a couple days when you would hang out with your friends at college overnight for a couple days to work on your research.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess if anything goes wrong, you can send me a message on the ring.
Yeah, of course.
Ring.
I have an order for they've put an order in the an edict, if you will, has gone out asking for any tinkerers who can make daylight gems that'll stay up for several hours. Apparently, they're pointing them at the crack in the wall, and they need lots of these, anything that can expel daylight. So I'm tinkering around with some ideas there. So I just have some concepts. Yeah, if I can figure that out and patent it, we'll be rich.
Well, maybe when I come back, I can help you.
Gladly. Oh, no, it'd be fun to work in the shop again. It's been a long time since we've, really thrown ourselves into that.
Yeah, as soon as I come back.
Fantastic. Well, have fun. Here's your bag. He gives you a bedroll with a tent, and have fun with your friends. Have fun storming the castle, dear. Have fun with your friends.
Zip out.
All right, as you leave. Do you guys meet up somewhere, or heard
we meet
you
back
are
at-
woken at 10?
So we meet back at my apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
was gonna say we're coming back tonight.
Coffee under Herd's nose. Just
Good
like,
morning, Herd.
there you go.
Oh,
It's probably not as good as that cafe you went to,
Those
but
noises.
it'll do.
that's the stuff. All right, I'm up.
Come on, Herd. The coffee's we're taking it in the living room. Gotta follow.
So it's around noon when Olivia rolls in. Probably around 11 when Clara rolls in, because Olivia had to go shopping for items. So you are all gathered together around noon. Magda and Kaden, did either one of you like go shopping or clean up the place?
Yeah, I cleaned up. Maybe.
I would have checked in, see if there's anything that we need more of.
Yeah.
Although, you know what? If we're leaving, Caden wouldn't have been stocking the place. It's better to keep it a little empty.
Okay.
Yeah. Cleaned up.
I mean, you're out of everything, so except coffee.
Oops.
So yeah.
Get it on the way back into town.
Yeah, so you are gathered together. What would you guys like to do?
I suppose we have to go talk to Sherman.
Yeah. He's always got that look about him that doesn't like being left to wait. So
Yep, let's go.
Sherman
Alright.
is who we saw on the tram, right?
No, you guys did not have. The rest of the party has not met Sherman yet.
Okay.
Caden, you can take point going forward. Let me know how to deal with. I haven't gone on missions like this before, so just let me know how to.
Well, sure. I'll certainly negotiate things with Sherman as needed, but I mean, once we get out into the wild, most of my experience is suburban.
Oh,
I'm not sure any of us have hunted down a serial killer before.
I thought you were working with a rook, so you did a lot of.
Not directly with him. What I mean is, it's a lot different hunting someone in alleyways and backwater taverns than it would be out in some forest somewhere. Not sure I know the first thing about that, but
All right,
learning experience, I suppose.
for everybody.
You make your way to the Two-Tailed Inn. Somebody mark off 3 silver for the ride, unless you guys walk. Okay, Caden. You make your way to the Two-Tailed Inn. You enter. You get there around 12:30, 12:45. You enter in, and immediately, Caden, you spot Sherman. He is sitting in a large chair in a back corner, with his back to a window where light is sort of pouring in. He looks big, but you know him as a 7.5 foot tall half orc with incredibly broad shoulders, broader than even hurdlers. He is absolutely massive, and he's sitting there reading a book with these horn-rimmed glasses on, and he's sitting there flipping the pages with his thumb while curling a barbell in his other hand. Just slowly curling it, and at a glance, Heard, this thing looks like it's probably about 45, 50 pounds, and he's just curling it without much difficulty. And he'll set it down and lick his thumb and turn a page and
What book is he
continue
reading?
to curl. He is reading Tourist Trade and the economics of and you can't read the rest because his hand's covering it.
Yeah.
Could he be holding a shake weight instead?
No, he's not holding a shake weight.
No? Oh.
I have an invention idea for your dad, Clara. Magical shake weight.
Oh my god, yes.
Yes.
I'm writing it down.
Caden will approach and kind of try to come up to the side of him so that it's not immediate, like, you know, someone walking up, and just once he gets close enough. You can pick one thing to do. You don't need to excel at all the things, Sherman.
As you say that, he looks up at you and licks his thumb and reaches over and grabs a bookmark and sticks it in the book and sets it aside on a table. And he stands up and he just towers over all of you, and he reaches over and gives you a handshake. Aiden, glad you can make it. So I take it you're accepting the job.
Yeah, I think it's a very generous offer from the Rook, and we'll do what we can.
It's very unusual that he would give a job out directly. Do you know why he normally goes through me? That's unusual.
I'm sorry, Sherman. I'm not at liberty to explore that with you.
Fair enough. Right. So here's the permit. What do you know about this process? The permit, the hunting, and all of that.
To be honest, and I'll look back to the group, most of us are not familiar with this. If you could fill us in a little bit, if you've got any knowledge, that would be helpful. Good HUD
Of course. He hands you a thin piece of silver with gold inlay, and it's stamped with the seal of the forestry. And he goes, "This is the permit." And then he sits back down in his chair. He goes, "Those things, they're auctioned off once a year. Elk, wolves, one ram up in the mountains for killing elk that are too old, or calling the herds, as it were. That's what that one's for, is particularly elk. And the highest bidder gets to take them and go out and have an experience and come back with a trophy. The meat, that one's for trophy and meat. There's different ones just for trophy, and that one's for the whole animal. So you go out, you hunt down an elk with your party, and you kill it. Now, there's two ways that are typically do this. If you're super rich, you show up and you'd have a guide. One of the foresters down there would guide you to a good spot or something like that. But the kill still has to be basically your own. Or you could choose to do it without a guide. It's really up to you. How you guys want to approach this problem is really up to you. If you guys want to be a little bit trickier and just present yourselves as people who have a pass and see what happens, that's one way to approach. Or you could just roll in with Olivia here, going, I'm a watcher and we're here to save the day, although I don't know how far that'll get you. You're going to want to head to the Dancing Moon Village. That's the where everyone goes to go and do their hunting. Just find whoever's in charge there and let them know that you're there to hunt. They'll go over the rules of the hunt itself. Offer a guide or no guide is when you'll get to choose that. Also, you don't have to tell Captain Gleason what you're doing. You could choose to go and talk to her, or you could choose not to. Just make sure she knows when she hands out the reward if you guys are successful. That's the instructions that the Rook has given me. Although she might have more information about what's going. I don't have a ton of information about the murders themselves.
Okay, that was going to be my next question.
All I really know is that it's happening to people who are hunting trophies. So, it's not happening to the regular hunters, and it's only happening to those hunting elk. So it's not happening to the ones hunting trophy wolves or something like that.
So to clarify with the DM, there was people are dying who are hunting elk, and you said there's two different ways. Usually it's either the whole elk for meat in hunting kind of thing, or like a trophy?
Yeah, so
What were
meat
the-
is very rare, like
Mhm.
is expensive and rare. So you can either bid on taking the whole elk, you kill the elk, you get all the meat, and you get the trophy. And then there's others who just hunt for the trophy. These are not the people who are doing this hunting. Like this, it's not poor people hunting for meat. It is rich people hunting for the delicacy of having real meat on their table. They always walk away with the trophy. It's just whether or not they walk away with trophy and.
Okay. And our silver, our token here allows us to get the entire animal,
Correct.
the meat and everything.
Right.
But the people
Which,
who've been dying have been doing the trophy hunting.
both. It's
Okay.
it's anyone who's using one of these to go hunt.
Gotcha.
Sherman tells you that one of the ones for the whole caboodle costs more than one for just the trophies. So this lets them know that you're quite wealthy, or at least you have a wealthy patron.
Fair enough. No, trust the rook to do things, you know, all the way, right?
What do you mean?
Not just, you know, the whole. It's not like we're getting just the.
Oh yeah, he
trophy
actually
one.
was bidding on one of the ones for the only one for the mountain goat, but he got outbid, so he took this as a consolation prize. Figured he was going to use it as a reward for the troops or for something. So it turned out to be useful for something.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can still bring back the meat and you can have a good feast. Who knows?
It's up to you. It's part of the whole shebang. It's yours to do with what you wish.
All right. Is the rest of the group nearby? Are you guys hearing this?
I'm right here.
Yeah.
We're your
I heard it
posse.
all.
We're
Yep,
behind you,
standing
looking
behind you.
tough.
Semicircle behind you.
We're in V formation.
Clara, roll performance to see how tough you look, because we've established you're not good
Absolutely.
at this.
Oh, I really want to use inspiration, but I'll save it. Performance.
Oh no, it's intimidation.
You look tough.
Yes.
Claire's pulling.
Yeah, I'm a tough wizard now.
Impressive.
Do any of you have any questions for Sherman before we go?
I think you just about covered it.
Yeah, unless you have any miscellaneous information about the killer himself.
Nope. This is one of those things where the rook is positioning for some favors. So he's not super invested, but if you're able to take care of it, Captain Gleason owes him a favor. And so this is a little bit of tit for tat. You end up with the gold, and he ends up with a favor.
Understand. All right.
But
Thank you,
Captain
Sherman.
Gleason would probably have the entire thing word on this, because the rook found out about it, because this is causing quite a problem for her. The son of the one of the merchants went out and ended up dead, and now people are complaining, and so she is not at all happy. So she is trying to get this dealt with quickly. So she would have an intimate knowledge of the file.
Understood. All right.
All right.
Any other questions?
Thanks, Sherman.
Claire, as you look, as you glance towards his book, which he has set down, the full title is Tourist Trade and the Economics of Seasons.
Interesting reading you got there.
Yeah, it's we don't really have a whole lot of tourists because it's the city, but if you look at how the city is laid out, it actually moves in sort of the cycle of almost a circle as people go to the locations, as different festivals are thrown. And so this book is examining the concept of if all these, the districts work together and had a secular seasoning of tourist trade, how they could boost the economy everywhere and the tourist trade everywhere.
Yep.
It's very fascinating.
I think.
I don't
Sure,
know that
man.
business owners would be as properly incentivized to work together if they're going to share profits. So some might want to do use it for themselves a little bit. So you gotta include some human greed in that analysis.
That is the major
Let's-
difference, is the human factor. This is just talking about the economic boost that would happen from it. But if shop
you're
owners
right.
could
Absolutely.
walking
If
away.
shop owners could be brought to understand that by agreeing to this, the growth would happen for them at a particular season, they could plan for it. They could have
Well,
more
I
things
guess
in
we'll
stock
go
His
and-
now.
voice fades into the distance as
Alright,
Olivia
alright.
walks further and further away from the party.
Yeah. So Claire, do you sit and talk to him for a little while, or do you leave with your party?
I definitely probably like it's like a minute before I realize that they've
Right.
gone, and then I'm like, oh, nice talking to you. Bye.
Yeah. Feel free to come back and have a chat.
Yeah, I absolutely will.
Okay.
I want friends.
Do you say that part?
Under my breath.
Okay. He picks his book back up, sits down, puts his horn-rimmed glasses on his on him. Caden looks like he's having more technical difficulties,
No.
so he falls silent as you guys step outside. There
Oh.
goes Clara.
Oh no.
Apparently, we're having lots of technical difficulties. People are dropping like
We're
flies.
being picked off one by one.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Who's next?
Who's next? The three who are here. Oh, wait, Caden's back. What would you guys like to do?
I think we should prepare for our journey.
Do you guys...
And how do you suppose?
Sorry, go ahead.
How should we prepare for our journey? I mean, should we just leave?
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you want to go see that Gleason lady or something? Kept talking
Is
about
she
it.
in the city right now?
She would be. She has her office would be. Olivia would know how to find her.
Okay. Yeah, that might be useful. If you think she would be willing to speak with us.
Yeah, I mean, I can probably think of a reason why I have to go into the forest. And then, I mean, you can talk to her, and you're good at that, so...
Suppose it might be worth finding out if there's anything in particular they recommend for these hunts. What do the usual hunters pack for out there? We might want some traps if we're going to play the part. If we decide to go that route, that may be stuff we can pick up at the Dancing Moon Village as well. Wouldn't be surprise me, but that kind of stuff would be good to know before we leave.
I'm not sure how low profile we want to be about this, because if we go talk to Gleason, I think we may want to be clear about our intentions to go take care of this serial killer. But if we don't want to, let that be known so soon, we might just want to try to find our information at the Dancing Moon Village.
Do we not want her to know? Do we not want her to know?
I'm not sure.
Probably
I
don't want to
suppose it
mention the
depends.
rook.
Well, that is the thing, right? So if we go and speak to her, we are a party interested in taking care of the serial killer. Is there an open bounty on the serial killer, or is it?
There
okay.
is an open bounty. Olivia would get some raised eyebrows. Having a watch member try to gather a party for an open bounty is considered very, that's her job, regardless. So it'd be.
I was gonna tell him that I was checking to see if there were any ghosts because of the recent murders. Since murdered could have been like unrequited thing or has some business, and so I just get you guys to help me since you've dealt with ghosts before.
That could work.
That's
Yeah.
not a bad idea.
Thank you.
Um,
All these.
keep freezing.
Are we frozen right now?
I think you're
camera's
back.
Not for me.
Mine is being
Okay.
weird.
All these
Oh,
hunters,
my-
they're pretty well off, right?
Hmm.
They're
Sounds like
probably
it.
Yeah.
pretty excited for their turn to go hunting. And they're probably all decked out with, hunting gear and stuff like that. And if we just went out and started to pretend like we're these hunters, maybe it might draw some attention to the fact that we don't have our camo pants and our bright orange vests.
Well, this hunting is a sport of the rich and wealthy, so perhaps I have decided to take up trophy hunting, and I've hired the rest of you to assist me.
Just so the serial killer gets the story straight.
Exactly, yes. So we draw this this is how we draw their attention, is we are very flamboyant about the fact that we are going to kill a trophy elk, and we tell everyone this. And then we wait.
Well, yeah, we could do that, but with, like, you guys doing that, and then I could just go on my own. Or I guess if we don't want to, like, maybe not split up completely, but it's just... Would you hire...
It's not unheard of for rich people to just hire an off-duty
Yeah,
watcher.
I could have,
escort them.
yeah, hired you.
Sure.
That sounds believable.
I mean, there are rumors of a serial killer in the forest. It would not be unheard of to hire some extra protection.
Yes.
All right.
Very tough. Very, very protective.
Well, shall we go
We
speak
need to see Gleason then?
Yeah, I think we go speak to Gleason.
Sure.
Okay. You head towards the edge of town. Olivia, you ask a couple people, and it's not hard to find where she's based out of at the moment. Captain Gleason handles half the districts in the city. And so you head towards where she's currently based on the edge of town. And you roll up on her office, and it wasn't originally a military building. It looks like something that the watch just sort of went, we need a building, we're renting you out, and have moved into an office building and are utilizing it for the time being. Asking, like, getting the vibe of the place as you're sort of going in. It's set up here because of its adjacency to the Dancing Moon Village, which is about 3/4 of a day walk away from here. So it's the closest you can get before actually dropping in the village. And so she's sort of here because of the killings and setting up, trying to figure out what to do about it. She has an open door policy, so you could just walk in, or you could present yourself a different way. It's really up to you.
Magda, you can go in, or we can go together. It doesn't matter.
Sure.
We're just allowed to go in.
It is entirely up to you. If you would like Gleason to know your face, perhaps you could come with.
Yeah. Well, if we do catch the guy, then we're gonna say it was the Rook that did it, right?
We were sent by the Rook, but we were the ones who did it.
Do I want her to know that I work with the Rook?
That's a good point.
Perhaps I was the one who's sent by the Rook, who hired you.
That works better. All right, cool. We'll go with that.
All right.
I just don't want to be technically
Matt is gone.
connected. Ooh.
So, who wants to be Gleason? She'd
Howdy,
probably give
y'all.
us magical weapons
I'll
for
give
this,
you
right?
everything you need.
You have to talk to
Oh
her.
my gosh.
Matt said his internet died.
Oh
no.
no.
Break
Not
time.
again.
Okay.
Time. So we're
Okay,
gonna take
all
our
right.
break here.
Sounds good.
Thank you all for our
See you
fun
in
technical difficulties.
10 minutes.
10?
An
10?
amount of time.
Let us play some D&D. So you head to...
Strike all
I'm gonna
that.
just
Rewind.
We didn't do
Didn't
any of
happen.
the things that we said.
We did nothing. Chat, we did nothing.
I'm going to have to watch the Twitch stream.
We didn't
Yeah,
do like
we
anything.
said that Gleason was unavailable, and we went back to Magda and Kane's apartment to chat. But we can just
Cool.
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
strike
So,
it. Didn't happen.
Clara
Didn't
was like,
happen.
meh.
I was going to have a
You
turn
guys
talking to them.
had a fantasy about her being unavailable, and you woke up and there's a man going, "Yes, you can rise to the wind." She looks at you guys and says, "You, Magda, introduce yourself." Hurdler introduces himself as she just sort of looks over at you, Olivia, and you.
Olivia. The watch.
I've hired her as a bit of extra help, but some information couldn't go awry.
Yes. So you wish to know about the killer in the woods, yes?
Yeah.
Shh, don't cry, Meg. It's okay.
It's Claire. Claire's gone. Well,
She's outside anyways.
my advice at this time, I apologize that you spent good gold on such an certificate, and you are welcome to cash it in, but my advice at this time is to wait. We are currently hunting it, and we cannot guarantee your safety in the woods at this time.
Well, here's the thing. If I had a little bit more information, perhaps we could assist you in taking care of the problem.
I appreciate your willingness to do so. I don't know. Do you have a background in hunting killers, Miss Magda?
I was under the impression that this was an open bounty and you were taking any assistance you could get.
Ah, yes. So, you are going. Are you going to hunt elk, or are you going to hunt killers? That is two very different. That is two very different tasks.
Certainly, but I thought, why not kill two birds with one stone?
Yes. Oh, that it's word bird day. Well, let's see. What would you like to know?
Well, first off, I would like to know about the killer's patterns, what we know about his killing style, how many people he has taken out, how frequently, what times of day.
All very good questions. Let's see. Have a seat. Is this your entire team?
There's two others, but they're waiting outside.
Okay. The current information is that only trophy hunters have been targeted. So far, he has killed 3. Time of day is whenever an opportune moment strikes. He has killed, I say in the general term, they have killed when they've killed an unguided tour. They've killed a guided tour when the guide stepped away for some reason, for whatever, there's many reasons a guide would need to step away. And as soon as an opportune moment struck, they killed. The killing is very unusual. They seem to kill and leave marks and tracks, such as a giant elk. It looks like a giant elk is killed. Witnesses, we have one witness that managed to play dead. He has said that that they saw the ghost of an elk, and it attacked them, an albino elk in a clearing. And when they drew a bead on it, the elk attacked them and killed them. It does not seem to kill. They do not seem to kill it. They do not seem to kill just because you're in the woods and just because you have the certificate. They kill only when you begin to attack or hunt an elk. It seems. So it's only when you're actually harming or in the process of about to harm. That's what it seems like. The locals are calling it the spirit of Caroline. Caroline was an albino elk that was raised by the locals in that area, and then was killed approximately 1.5 years ago by mistake by a trophy hunter who was unaware that they were not to shoot at him, and they killed the elk. And so now the witness said an albino elk was there, and they drew a bead on it and it attacked him. Most of the local watch down in that area are part of a ranger company, and so they live and work in that same area. So
I'm
that
curious.
is yes.
So It seems like this may be something of the supernatural sort rather than a person.
That is one theory that is being approached, but I am a logical person. And as such, it does not seem that supernatural doesn't make sense that this would be the case. I feel like it is probably more likely somebody who is holds a grudge over the killing of Caroline is the working theory, and has enough magic to make them seem like an elk. Or something along those lines. That is our current working theory. However, we've questioned the villagers. We've questioned many people in regards to the case. Unfortunately, we are no closer to finding a solution. So yes, there is an open bounty, 2,000 gold, if you can find the killer and prove that you can't just kill somebody. You need to find the killer and have evidence of their crimes. And then you will get the bounty. Unfortunately, your watchman that you hired does not qualify for the bounty. And if they are found to have taken part of it, they will be disciplined, as that is poor sport for the watchman to go bounty hunting. And
I'm
against
not
red.
hunting. I'm just.
She's
checking.
just extra. She's just an escort.
Interesting.
And
And
keeping an
also
eye
a
on.
guide to speak with you.
What is you said your name is PFC Olivia. How long have you been in the watch, Olivia?
5 years.
That's a long time for a normal watch person. Why have you been in the watch for 5 years?
Oh no, I'm working with the DMV right now. So Department of Mortality Victims, you know that department.
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I mean, hired with her and keeping an eye out for supernatural stuff because of the killer.
Interesting. Okay.
Something wrong,
No,
ma'am?
not at all. What? Any other questions?
I don't believe so. Actually, anyone else who has gone after this killer, what has happened to them? Have they simply not been able to?
unsuccessful.
All right, they just haven't.
We have sent people undercover with the intent that they would go in and pretend to be somebody that they are not. And the killers did not take the bait, as it were. We do not know why, but they either have their ear to the ground or they are knowledgeable about the workings of the watch or something. So, unfortunately, because so many people come through the watch and half the village down there belongs in the watch, it is hard to determine if it is an inside job or something else. So, we have only just begun to put our forces against this, but with the killing of Stephen, we are getting a lot of pressure lately, hence the bounty.
Can you tell me more about the 3 victims?
They're all rich. Each one had purchased a trophy for themselves. The first victim was an older man who this was his retirement gift to himself. He had sort of purchased a trophy and it made his his last hurrah. Most people don't get to kill an elk or hunt. He was elven and wanted to use his longbow in the way of his forefathers, or so he said. He went down without a guide. He was the first kill. We found him with hoof marks and horn marks, and we just assumed that he had gotten the worst end of an elk attack. The second one went out with a guide. It was the wife of the first one going to avenge her husband. She went out with a guide and with a small entourage of, well, not really, it's just a lady in waiting to help her. She was skilled at the bow, and so it shouldn't have been an issue. The guide made it out alive, did not see anything when he went out to scout for a good spot. the wife, the lady in waiting said the wife spotted a giant white elk with a huge rack, and the rack is what you call the horns
Yeah,
for
yeah.
those who are not
Yeah,
hunters.
absolutely. That's
I
what
know
we're
what
I heard the
thinking.
sneaker.
Yep.
Yeah,
mhm,
yeah,
mhm.
yeah. And drew a bead on it, and the elk attacked. The lady in waiting fled, and we found her much the same way. So the working supposition was a killer elk, a murderous elk. So the hunters took to the woods, did a lot of tracking, tagging, but we found no albino elks, and no sign of albino elk. And then the third one was a young, was Stephen, a merchant's son, who had acquired a whole package. He went out and he had some friends with him, and they were all killed. And when we found them all killed, including one that tried to flee, we realized that elk do not pursue and hunt their targets, and we believe this to be a person pretending to, or you know, um, uh, acting as an elk, or using some way to cover up the crime. Our potential people could be it's a druid who is shapeshifting as an elk, but it could just as easily be a ranger who is just using weapons that have been formed out of elk horns, and therefore the damage looks similar to that of an elk. Or it could be any number of other things. So unfortunately, the field is too big at this point, and we've just begun our investigation.
All right. I don't believe I have any other questions.
People that were sent out to take this, whatever this is, down, did they like physically look different than the rich people that were killed? Do they dress different? Do you know any of this?
Oh, well, we sent watch members out. They were, they went down and, started combing through the woods. But
they're
so yes,
clearly
there's some
watch.
difference. Well, yes, they were not spy services. The watch doesn't really have a spy hunting service, as it will. So we then tried to get some villagers, some of the locals, to try something that did not result in anything either. Yes, I do not. It appears as if you. I don't know how you intend to go about this. Are you planning on going about it with a level of subtlety, or do you wish me to give you an introduction to the person in charge down there and work with them?
Well, it seems to me like it might be in our best interest to go hunt some elk and see what comes after us.
Very well, then I will say nothing of our conversation. I wish you the best of luck for many reasons. I hope you guys are the ones to collect the bounty. It'll save me from owing somebody a favor. So if you have any other questions, I'd be happy to answer them. The working story that I will simply tell, pass down the chain of command if anyone asks, is you were simply here getting permission.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
All right. I will go.
Okay. You leave the area. Do you guys head straight for the Dancing Moon Village, or do you... in the course of conversation, she would have explained that there are two groups of... Sorry, when she was describing the rich people, there are two different ways that rich people roll up. One is they just roll up with money and basically throw it around and be like, provide me with everything I need. I have money. And the other way would be, they come with all of their own. They, went to, a hunter store and got the, I need the best bow and the best this and the best that. Kind of like how some people roll up to the bottom of Mount Everest and are like, okay, I'm here. Give me everything I need to get to the top, right? And so you guys could do your shopping in the city, or you could roll up and be like, here's $100 dude. Give me what I need.
Did she say which the victims tended to be?
The first one, the man, was bought everything in town and went out. The wife went out and just bought only what she needed to hunt, and then the son rolled into town and just spread gold everywhere. Drank all night, partied with his buddies, and then went out.
I think that we need to go to the safari suit store. Kind of deck ourselves out.
I mean, based on what you're saying, assuming that you've told
Yeah.
and Caden, it sounds like we really need to be focused on the actual hunt. We need to bag an elk. Because it sounds like they're seeing through something. I don't think it's. We know that the hunters come for people who have caught an elk.
Yes.
We should probably focus on trying to do the same.
I mean, I would not say no to some good elk meat.
Our fridge, our icebox was getting a little spiced.
Exactly.
That just shows how little you guys know about elk.
Oh yeah. You think Magda knows shit about this?
Right. Oh, we'll throw a little bit in our icebox. No, we need to buy a whole icebox just for the elk.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, they've never had it before. All right. Well, okay. If this is the case, that sounds like we're spending a lot of money. We're not buying fancy shit for everybody. We got to make it look like we're regular old people, and then you guys got to go to a store, and both of you, or just Magda?
Well, if we went out and bought some sweet outfits, I think that would be pretty cool for the future. If we all had matching safari outfits.
Now we get to the root of what Herd really wants.
And I know of a place just off 3rd Street.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Specifically safari equipment.
Why?
Elks aren't usually in safari.
I think I know my facts about elks, all right?
Oh, you know what? You probably know better than I do.
Make sure you grab that ice bucket.
Camouflage.
Okay.
Anyway, well, okay.
Are we doing this here, or are we going to the village?
Let's do this here. I think we should do this here.
Okay.
Okay. So there are not a whole lot of stores that cater to this because hunting is not like in the Americas where, it's a huge wild sport. You need permits and a whole bunch of other stuff, but there are some that deal with this. And so you head your way over to the store that Hurdlerder knows. What's the name of that store, Hurdlerder?
Safari R Us.
Sounds good. You head over to the store called Safari R Us. You can step in and there's
copyrighted.
What?
Copyrighted. It's ours now.
Yep. And as you step in, there's literally nothing here for safaris because there's no desert anywhere on this in the land of Nuri. But there is camo and longbows, packs, handy haversacks, an ice handy haversack for putting meat into so it does not spoil and rot. Fishing gear, underwater fishing gear for deep dive fishing, stuff like that. And you guys walk in all together?
Sure.
I'll walk in. I don't know if anyone's sure. Yeah.
Behind the counter is a teenage half elf, and he is sitting there reading a pamphlet. It looks like a pamphlet about tracking, and he kind of just looks up as you guys come in. He's like, "Hey, go ahead and take a look around. Call me if you need me."
If we're looking to go elk hunting, what do you recommend?
He kind of gives you like a once over. Well, you're gonna need a longbow probably, or do you know how to use a longbow? If you don't, then we'll probably want to go with a crossbow. They're a lot easier to handle.
All right.
So do you know how to use a longbow, or would you like a crossbow?
Look at my sheet.
I'll take a longbow.
All right. So you're gonna
mean,
want a
wait.
longbow. You're gonna, of course, want something to hide you. He glances over at Olivia. You're not gonna want to wear all of that. You're go clanking through the woods like a tin can. Everyone will hear you coming. So you want something quieter.
No, I have to wear. This is my uniform.
I think we should talk about that later.
I'll take a
But
crossbow.
yeah, crossbows. Okay. I just realized 50 gold for a longbow. Something I forget what a crossbow costs.
25.
Oh.
Right.
Do you have any like package deals? You know, like we want to just go out and hunt elk and like a 101 package deal.
Yeah, I could put something together for everybody. Bows and weapons for everybody, gear for everybody, tents, bed rolls.
We
Looks
have
like
a
you
lot
already
of
have
those
some.
things.
I have a
Uh,
Say
backpack.
that again.
We have a lot of those things already.
I don't need
We
anything.
mostly just need to check on weapons.
Do you have something to store the meat in?
That too.
Okay. So one of those is going to cost about 800 gold, and then we have the bow and the two other bows, which is 100 gold. So that's 900 gold. For that, if you need any other weapons or gear, I'll throw the outfits in at a discount. So instead of the 10 gold, we'll call that 50% off for each of the outfits. So that's 925 gold.
Magda, I have a crossbow and a longbow back in my locker at the barracks. Do you want to just use those?
Yes, I think that's fine.
Just get a fancy outfit or something.
Yeah.
The handy haversack. Do you have like a rental program,
Can we lease it?
or like how much down is that?
Well, if you didn't want to buy one here, the guides always carry them with them, so they could, I just a lot of people like to have their own equipment, and they're, no offense, are loaded. So I just present you all the options. But I understand if you don't want to, if you just want the outfits, if you already have the other gear and you want the outfits, then that'll be 10 gold per outfit.
We don't need these outfits. I
I
already
think
heard-
that is are very important. What did you not understand about matching outfits?
I can
I
I
know
can
we don't
disguise
need
myself.
matching outfits.
I didn't get it in the first place.
I could maybe give you a slightly more discounted one for 5 gold per outfit.
Why is it discounted?
Well, it's the cheaper brand. These are not made by what did you call this? This is
Safari
Rara?
R Us.
it's not, they're not made by Safari R. They're made by Safari RS, not made by the original
Coconut
designer.
brand. Okay.
Right.
What about just like matching cloaks, Herd? Would that be better?
Something green.
Yeah.
I'll wear a cloak.
And we
All
have
right.
we have
All
some
right.
green cloaks. You can
Yeah.
a gold apiece.
Can I have a red one? I want a red.
Oh,
Sure.
that's
Gonna
the
have to
stand
see
out
the forest,
Ching, Olivia.
Well,
Oh.
a lot of people think elk can't. Hold on, before I get somebody who actually hunts. An elk see color.
Things you have to Google.
Elk actually can only see. They don't see like we do. Red is not going to scare them off.
Are you sure they're not like bulls, like where they specifically see red and they want?
Well, bulls aren't drawn to the redness. They're more drawn to the flashiness of it.
We'll find out. When
That's
we
good
get out
because
there.
Olivia is very flashy.
Oh,
Yes. So 1 gold apiece if you want to buy matching cloaks, except one's not matching because it's red.
I'll stay with my blue one then.
I
I would like a
my dark
cloak.
blue.
It's gonna be cold.
All right,
probably
you get
have
a-
one.
I'll take
Okay.
a cloak.
think
All
that's
right, you get cloaks, 2 cloaks. Olivia, do you get a cloak?
Yeah.
Going,
I'll get
you're
a
going
cloak.
very Spanish Inquisition. Red hair, red cloak.
Hmm.
You know,
No one
nobody
will accept her.
expects the Olivia Inquisition. Um,
Certainly not the serial killer.
Yep. It's me.
okay, so 3 gold. You have walked in, got a 900 gold package that you are now spending 3 gold on. He is once again picking up his pamphlet.
Shopping.
King Herd, do you have any need of weapons right now, or do you have?
Well, I only one of us has to fire a bow, right? I don't have a bow. If it gets close, I can use this. But
Yes.
yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
think that
stick
will
with
work.
my short bow for now.
All right. How much was a longbow?
50 gold.
I'm
What were
not
you saying,
using
Olivia?
the one that I have, so
Yes,
right.
but this is a brand new longbow. Shoots true, shoots the arrows. You know, when you go hunt elk, you only get 1 or 2 shots before they're gone, and you want to have a bow that you are comfortable with. We can take you right out back, and you can try a couple until you find one you like.
I think we'll be all right. Thank you.
All right, well, 3 gold for the cloaks.
Thanks for the cloaks.
One last thing. That what you were reading, that tracking magazine. Do you recommend it?
For avid sportsmen, sure.
Avid sportsman. Yes.
That's what we are. Clearly.
Right. Yeah. You can get a copy for a copper.
Put me down for 1 copy.
And he hands you a copy of it.
So was that 3 gold across the party for those cloaks?
Yeah.
Or is it 3?
1 gold
Okay.
per cloak.
Okay, I'll just subtract 1 gold and 1 copper.
Okay.
wait, how much was the haversack?
800.
Oh, never
That's
mind.
for the
Yeah,
cold
no.
haversack.
Okay. How much is a
It's
normal haversack?
We didn't ask.
Oh, okay.
I think we're good.
Yeah.
This shop seems a little pricey
Sounds
for.
a little bit
Yeah.
What
All
colors?
right.
What color cloaks did you guys get?
I'm assuming green.
Okay.
I'm getting a green one.
I got the camo one.
Camo cloak.
Jackie, art
Where'd he
this
go?
week. Hurdler and a camo cloak.
Safari. Camo cloaks.
Kurt's gone. I can't find him.
So you guys, the day ends with you having your gear. Do you guys head out the next morning, or you go out at night?
What time is it now?
Let's see. You met Sherman at noon, and then you had to travel all the way across the city and talk to
Gleason?
So I would probably say it'd be about 3:30
All right.
by now.
How long of a journey is Dancing Moon from here?
From where you are, a full day.
Okay. I think we leave in the morning. Bright and early.
Fair enough. Early departure.
Does anyone have anything they need to do, or should I move the clock forward to the morning?
Olivia just picks up her longbow and crossbow from her barracks and checks on family to make sure that things are going smoothly with the building. Not talking to them, just walking by.
Okay. Give me a stealth roll.
Okay. I don't want to get into another conversation.
I feel like that's Olivia's
Oh,
tagline.
no. Oh, dang it. 7.
As you sort of approach the building, you can see that the wife and the husband are rehanging the door, and they start to work on it. And he looks over his shoulder and he sees you. He's like, "Oh, Olivia, why don't you stay for dinner? We're gonna go ahead and make some potatoes soon."
I have a prior engagement. Did you find the shed? Everything in there fine?
Yeah. got good hinges. If you'll wait a couple minutes,
Just tell me if anything was missing from the shed. Was there
Nope,
anything that you
everything was
needed?
there.
Okay, great,
Yeah.
great. Thanks. Yeah, bye.
Wait, what?
Oh, come on.
Such a nice woman.
Oh. She doesn't hear that.
Yeah. So the next morning rolls around. You have all of your stuff, and you head out to the Dancing Moon Village. It is not a difficult trek. You have to walk out there. You take you pack your backpacks. I need everyone to roll me a survival roll.
Oh. Better than expected.
Okay. 14 for Caden,
20.
18 for Olivia, 17 for Hurdler, 20 for Clara. Magda, as you guys are walking through the city, out of the city and down, carrying a backpack sucks. Like, you did not pack this right. And it is just like you're taking it off every like quarter mile to rearrange some stuff and push something back in. This is not something you're like familiar with, but everybody else took their time, and their backpack is fine.
Now, GM, I will remind you, we have gone camping before as a party.
Oh, sure. It's just this is like full on like everything, a rucksack,
okay.
army rucksack. But yeah, it's not something you can't fix. You just sit down and you fix it. And yeah, so
You okay there, Magda? Do you need some help?
Yeah, fine.
Shop?
I'm fine. Just gotta rearrange this. It's fine.
The longbow doesn't go around the front; it goes around the back of the.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can carry it if you want me to.
Why do I have the longbow, anyways?
Well, you were going to use it, so I thought you should get used to it. I don't know.
I can't use a longbow. I was assuming Herd would
Here.
use it.
Oh.
I'll take the longbow, and
just
I'll
don't-
wear it how I like.
Sure, hand it to her. How does he? Ding! No.
he wears it around his waist, snaps the longbow. So now, just as an aside, Magda, you're presenting yourself as the rich person, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so are you carrying your own pack into the village?
No, not by the time we reach the village. I would pass
Okay.
it off to Caden.
Okay. So you guys walk. It's an easy, gentle walk. It's a nice day outside. Summer is just waning, and the coolness of the air is making it so you're walking comfortably the whole day. You arrive as night falls on the Dancing Moon Village. Now it's named that because of its adjacency to the Dancing Moon Lake, and they just took the name. You arrive at nightfall, and it is a very tiny town, village. It's not even the size of a town. It only has it has an inn. It has several houses that are clearly like barrack style housing. It has some as you sort of enter that's surrounded by woods, and there's some huts up in the trees. And you kind of see on the outskirts of the town or the village, on the very outskirts, is some man-made caves as well. That different kinds of people are sleeping in their own different arrangements. You can see light pouring out of a tavern that you kind of, as you're walking in, it's a one stoplight kind of place. So you just walk down the street. There's a couple people walking around in the dark, and they kind of give you the eye, but nobody stops to talk to you. And you see light pouring out of a tavern down the way. As you approach it, it's called the Fallen Log Tavern, and it is built inside of an actual like oak tree, or fallen oak tavern, and it's built inside of an oak tree that fell over. And it's this massive 20-foot wide, and there's a door going in. It's just they carved out the inside, and that's their tavern. You stand in the middle of the streets of this village. You can hear chatter and conversation. That's clearly the place of gathering for the evening. The moon is rising in the sky. It's just a sliver tonight, and you are here. Uneventful travel.
Well, let's get a room, and tomorrow we shall go hunting.
Good.
Hunting elk.
Mm-hmm.
Hunting elk. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So you make your way over to in places like this, the tavern, general store, and room and inn are all the same basic, commodities. So you make your way over to the inn, which is adjacent to the tavern, and you walk in. There's a small bell above, and as you start to traipse in and knock the dust off of your garments before you step in, a slim built high elf walks over to comes from an adjacent room and guests. Yes, guests. Here to stay the night.
Yes, and we'll be looking for a guide for a hunt tomorrow.
Ah, yes. Then you're gonna want to talk to let's see, Lieutenant Perry Jane. He is the watch in charge of this area, and he can assign you a guide. Or you could go next door, where all the guides are in there. So you could just go in and maybe pick one out for yourself, as it were. You're actually going hunting, huh?
Mhm.
Have you heard about the spirit?
Yeah, it's quite interesting. What can you tell me about it?
Oh, it's not a whole lot. We just know that there's a spirit of Caroline out there, wrecking havoc on the hunters. We've lost a couple. Not to scare you or anything. You look like capable people, but hate to lose some more.
I think it would be
She's
quite
moving some
interesting to
stuff
see
around.
such a ghost.
Well, your funeral, I guess. That'll be 1 gold for the evening for all of you.
Sure, I'll put down 5 gold.
Oh, you're planning on staying a while. All right.
Oh no, I was wait for all of
What?
us. I thought it was
Yeah,
for
1
each
gold.
of us.
No, for the lot. That's 2 rooms. It's our own. We only got 2 rooms, so
Well, I'll
you
put
get
down the gold.
okay. All right. Thank you. She gives it a little bite, slides it into her. Will you be needing anything from me, or the rooms are down the hall there on the left, and the one across from it on the right. In the
Perhaps
morning, we'll
just
bring
some
some water
supper.
around. Supper. Yeah, that'll be over in the tavern.
All right.
They have elk stew tonight.
Sensing a
Uh,
theme.
What time do
well,
the hunters usually leave in the morning?
it depends on well, you guys, I guess. Some of them are late risers and they go out and they take a long time to get to their spot, and then they camp out there for a day or two. And some of them are early risers trying to get farther down into the woods. There's 20,000 acres of woods back there, so it takes a little while. It depends on where your guide wants to take you. So it's really up to you and your guide.
Fair enough. Thank you.
She kind of gives all of your, she gives you a look over. First hunt, huh?
Yep.
Well, good luck. I hope you come back alive. You'll be the first one this season.
First hunt, but not the first ghost. So,
Really?
and
You're
I'm
ghost
gonna
hunters,
leave.
huh? All right.
I'm
Well,
already walking away.
yeah. She watches you and then she turns and starts heading into the tavern. So, what are you guys doing for the evening?
I would like to hunker down with a nice tracking magazine and, by the fire and get some good reading in.
Okay. So you go to your room, hunker down next to the fire with your pamphlet. It's really only 3 pages.
Takes me the whole night.
Yeah. So yeah. What is everyone else doing?
Are we getting the guide tomorrow, or we're hiring one tonight? Booking.
Probably couldn't
Probably
hurt to
tonight.
go talk to them tonight.
Yeah. Especially if people do, if elk, if it's best to leave first thing in the morning, it's probably better to know that now.
Yeah, so somebody be prepared or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Where do we go for that?
Either to Lieutenant Perry Jane or next door. So.
to you guys, I guess.
Why don't we start with official channels? I'll ask at the front desk if would Lieutenant Barry Jane still be seeing people this evening?
This late? He might be in his office. He's working really late these days with the ghost being out there. So, yeah, he's last building down at the end of the street.
Thanks.
All right, let's go.
You guys head down to the last building at the end of the street. There is a single light coming from the inside, and as you knock on the door, a gruff voice, "Come in," from inside.
I'll go in.
And you see a man sitting there. He looks human, mop of blonde hair, and he's drinking tea. He goes, "Oh, sorry about that. You're trying to talk right when you swallow tea."
Are you Lieutenant Perry Jane?
I am. And you are?
Magda. I'm looking for a guide for a hunt tomorrow.
Oh, I wouldn't advise that. We're actually sort of putting a suspension on the hunts as best we're able to. There's some deaths that have been happening with that. I am so sorry you came all the way out here.
However, still like to go on a hunt. Not much concerned about ghosts.
Do you have the ticket?
Yes.
Hayden will pull it out and be like, "Oh yeah, we got this, and we're so excited to go on this hunt. There's nothing that's going to stop us. We've been hearing about this great hunt all this time, and we are all ready to go and do it. We are so excited. There ain't nothing that's going to get in our way. We are going to grab a big one. I'm sure of it."
What he said.
Right. All right. So I'm going to need to know who your next of kin are. In the event of your death, who we should notify. So please fill this paperwork out. If you're in need of a guide, do you have a particular preference? All the guides are down there. Usually they just sort themselves out in the morning. I can let them know that there's somebody who needs a guide so they can get ready.
Preference in terms of?
Did you know somebody that a personal favorite that you've used before, somebody who's recommended? There's
anyone who's good at catching elk.
Oh, well, they all are. Most
enough.
of them are. That's not fair. Some of them are not. Well, why don't we walk down? I haven't eaten dinner. Why don't we walk down, have dinner, and I'll introduce you to a couple, and you guys can, see which one shakes out, which one you feel safe with, and see which one wants to go out with you. It's if what happens to you happens to what happened to the others happens to you. That's something that will weigh heavily on a conscience of a guide. So I don't want to force somebody into that position to take some people out to the woods and die. You really should not be going out there. We haven't tracked down whatever this is.
You can't tell the lady what to do. Don't try to argue with her.
Oh no, the missus here. What she wants to do, she will just do it. She's very good at. She succeeds at everything she wants to do. So I think it would be fantastic if we could just, perhaps get her a guide for tomorrow morning.
Right. He winces. Sees that you're in the watch uniform. He goes, "Why don't you go down and get a meal? What's your name?"
Olivia.
PFC Olivia. He can tell because of the sword you carry what your rank is. Can I have a moment with you real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Look, is there, as you guys, he tries to, if you guys leave and give him a moment.
Oh, yeah.
Is there no way I can't convince her not to go? Like,
oh no.
People and their money. Look,
yeah, she paid me way too much to come with her, but I'm just walking through the woods. So.
You do know that they killed everybody in the last party, right?
It'll be fine. I'm a watcher. I got my sword with me. Can't be that bad.
Well, if something happens, don't feel like you need to die to protect people with money. We need information on what's going on, and so that is paramount. Yeah.
Anything I should avoid?
Yeah, going on the hunt. Come down with a fever, a cough, a cold.
I kind of need the money.
Whatever. Fine. All right. He squares his shoulders. His face changes to one of jovial politeness. Well, let's go and introduce him to the guides, shall we?
I appreciate the meeting, but yeah.
So you guys walk down and enter into the Fallen Oak Tavern. This is where everyone is. And as you guys step through, the tavern just falls silent. People just turn and look at you, and after a couple seconds, the noise picks back up as conversation picks back up. There's about 20 people in here, and some very interesting. Not sure how loud that is for you, but I'll turn that down just a little bit for me. There's some very interesting characters, like a smattering of people. You look around, and it's very easy to pick out that there are woodcutters in here. There are rangers, druids, and just general watchers who have that task. And as you make your way through the tables to get your own table, you hear somebody mutter, or you sit down at this table, and across the way, right across the table from you, is a table with a Minotaur druid, a half-elf druid, a gnome ranger, and a Goliath woodcutter. And they're sitting there eating dinner and talking amongst themselves. The lieutenant stands up and he goes, this is Magda and Party. They're going to be going on a hunt tomorrow, and they're looking for a guide. And as he says that, you overhear the half-elf sitting across the table from you fucking rich people on the trophy hunting gonna get themselves killed. Serves them right. He says it just loud enough to be heard, and the gnome next to him just punches him in the side. Stop it. And Lieutenant goes, if anyone is interested in taking them out, feel free to approach them. As you know, I'm not assigning guides at this point. It is on you whether or not you want to go or not to go. Do not feel obligated to do this, given the current circumstances. And he gives you a nod, Magda. And he goes over to a table in a corner to sit down and eat some stew.
What's going on with the music
Someone's
right now?
Music is a little
transmitting.
funky.
Someone.
What do you mean?
I think I can.
music.
It sounds like it's like music coming through your speakers, Matt, or someone.
Sounds like singing in a sewer.
So it's rolling
There we
through twice. That's what you're saying?
We're good now.
Okay. Hate it. But tech issues. Yeah. So you're sitting at a table. A waiter, a busboy, a young man, half-elfin young man, brings over bowls of stew and some ale without being bidden to. He just brings them over. Hungry? Fresh stew. Killed an elk last week.
Question, Matt.
Milk?
So I literally said like I went up to read the magazine for the rest of the night. Can we say that I'm there? Like,
Oh yeah, you start reading through the magazine. It takes
Okay.
you like 10 minutes.
All right.
Because it's like a pamphlet, and half of it's colors, like drawn. So you read it twice and get bored and come down to the inn, and you see your party sitting there at the table, and there's stew being served.
you guys are. I don't see why we need a guide. I mean, I've read the book.
I think I'd heard.
Yeah, just a little extra help.
God,
You wanna
no
put
God,
your-
you're all gonna die anyway.
Excuse me?
Shut up, Doc. Coming from the table next to you.
What's up,
Claire
Doc?
turns around. It's like, yeah?
What? Just talking to my friends here.
It sounded like you were talking about us.
Are you one of the guides, Doc?
I am.
What about the rest of you? Are you all guides?
The Minotaur speaks up. Yeah, I'm a guide. Not all of us. My name is Kippen. This is Doc. And the gnome over here, we call him Sky High. And the big old guy over here with the tattoos, he's also named Doc. They saved each other's lives and started calling each other Doc. It's a weird thing. But he's Big Doc. He's just Doc. But he's not a guy.
Wait, which one is Big Doc? Is it the little one? Because this guy's Sky High, and that's clearly an ironic.
No, the big one's Big Doc.
Okay.
Fucking sippy wizard.
Well,
Just
We
staring
are-
at them.
we are in the market for a guide, apparently. I don't think we need one because we're gonna do just fine, guys. But if any of you would like, we're hunting elk.
We'd advise against that.
We've heard it all day.
Yes. Yep.
All
I
right.
imagine this must be rough on you guides. Not being able to take work right now.
Oh, most of us don't mind not. You know, we still do the hunting and stuff like that.
Oh.
It's just don't have to handle some of the less inclined to the woods. You mean city slickers, dumbass city slickers. Doc, what? I apologize for my friend. He doesn't like people from the city.
Sounds like you.
We could
Seems
tell.
like being a guide is an interesting choice of careers.
That's a story for another time. He's quite the good guide. He just doesn't. He specializes in wolf hunts these days. Let's just put it that way.
Interesting.
Any of you been out there lately?
Sky High here brought in the elk that you're about to eat. By the way, each one of you for the bowl it's a gold for just the bowl of the meat, this meat stew. A gold each bowl.
I will
And,
pay for the party.
Okay. The ale is built into the price, so it's just 5 gold. Yeah, he's the one who got that one. Old elk broke his leg in a tree, so we took him down. But yeah, I go out quite a bit. What kind of guided tour are you looking for? Quick out, in and out, or
Looking to get an elk.
right?
Pretty much any elk will do.
Huh?
We want any elk. I thought we wanted like for the game. Sport of it. I don't want it. I mean, they're talking about a sick and dying elk with a broken leg or something. I kind of like off to the side.
Yeah.
Need some
Not a lot of space here, but yeah. Give me a charisma roll, just see whether or not they pick up on it.
I would like to use my inspiration.
Excellent.
All right, coming at advantage. Charisma or persuasion? Or
This is just straight charisma. It's sleight of
Okay.
hand with charisma. I don't think you have proficiency in sleight of hand, so.
I'd rather do sleight of hand, but I'll do.
Well,
charisma.
it's sleight of hand with charisma.
Sure. Here it comes.
Okay. Do you have sleight of hand proficiency?
No,
Oh.
but I don't have a -2 modifier to sleight of hand.
Okay, 15. 15's good. You think you're probably quiet?
Caden's gonna kind of stand up and look at the table in front of him and be like, I don't think that you fine folks are quite understanding what's going on here. The lady wishes to kill an elk with her own hands. The stories that we have heard of these hunts, you don't understand the crew that she has prepared here. We have one of the greatest watchers ever who is going to lead this band of hunters. We have our resident magic user who is going to rain fire from the sky if needed. We have Mr. Hurd over here with this massive club. Have you seen what he could fell with that one club? And the Lady Magda herself, she will be dealing the killing blow. As he's doing this, Caden's going to be kind of spiraling a dagger. Of course, my job is just to make sure that the lady stays safe through all of this, no matter what we may face, and we are just in need of a guide to bring us there. I have no doubt that we are going to meet up with an elk under your guidance, and then we will manage to slay this formidable
performance
beast.
roll.
I love this voice.
I would like to use my inspiration for this.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a 22. As you finish your speech, the half-elf stands up and slams his drink on the table. Y'all fucking the same. Come out here and kill whatever you like to get the killing blow with your grand party. Dumb asshole, to help you down out there. And he just storms off. The Minotaur stands up and very well. I apologize for my friend. He is the elk that was killed. There was a villager elk killed about a year and a half ago. He had raised it and it was killed by a trophy hunter. Not like yourself. I'm sure you are far more careful. I'd be happy to take you out.
Caroline was the elf's name, right?
Yes, you know of this.
I've heard the rumors, I have.
Yes, well, you might meet her, depending on whether or not we find something for you. I will have you know that should we come across the spirit of Caroline, I will not fight by your side. I will definitely flee.
That is completely fine. Am I to understand that you're taking the job?
If you would have me.
Absolutely.
What time would you like to leave?
What time do you suggest? What's the best
Well,
time?
if you're looking for a giant rack, as your man here suggests, then we're gonna have to hike all the way in. There's 2 locations. I'll let you choose one. There's a lake, the Dancing Moon Lake. Many come to graze and drink on its shores. And there's an offshoot of that lake that trails down, and that's also a good place to find elk grazing in the evening. Both are about 2.5 days walk away. It's about 2 days walk, and then we can choose which direction to get the half. But yeah. So the earlier the better is generally the case. If you didn't want to walk as far, there's some possible options, but the deeper you go into the woods, the bigger the elk you'll come across as they're, hunted as frequently,
I think
as you probably know.
the best option. Even if the longer travel, better reward.
Very well. I'll see you tomorrow morning then, bright and early, as the sun rises.
All right.
And he sits down and goes back to eating. Actually, no, he leaves to go find his friend. You guys have your stew. Do you wish to discuss anything here?
Is the lieutenant with us?
He's eating in the corner. He saw the whole outburst, but...
Okay. But he's not, at the table with us? Okay.
This is a very cramped space. You don't have privacy. You are the strangers in town, and everyone around you seems to be talking in lower voices to hear anything you have to say. It's pretty obvious.
And Caden then will kind of look down, kind of get everyone's attention and be like, and now we know our roles, of course. Our leader, our mage, our muscle, our lady, and her god.
Yup.
Pretty good stew, don't you think?
Great stew. Do we possibly want to retire for the evening?
I'm
Yeah.
hungry, so I'm gonna finish the stew, and then we can go. Yeah.
I mean, it was a gold. I'm definitely gonna finish it.
Yeah, no. This
Yeah.
isn't-
Like,
It's
are we
the first
making
time
a
you've actually
show out
ever
of it?
tasted real meat. For you guys, in my opinion, it tastes delicious. I don't know if any of you are vegetarians, but yeah, this is nothing like the fake meat that you've had in the. This is really good. It's fatty and well made stew, perfectly made. It is the most delicious stew you've had. There's nothing like the real thing.
All right. When we get back to the room, should we all just talk a little bit before we retire?
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about? Here. Are we okay? I hear you
What
now.
the hell is happening?
I don't know.
It's like spun up. It's the blink spell again. On and off.
Did we lose Matt again?
We might have to call it a night. Oh my gosh.